So finally, you have found this video. Congratulations, because this is the only video that you would probably find on the internet regarding the tips to crack Srishti entrance examination. हेलो भैया, कुछ टिप दो ना प्लीज। अब सुबह सुबह टिप मांगने आ गए हो। ये लो, टॉफी खा लेना। अच्छा, ये वाला नहीं चाहिए? चल ये ले यार, 500 रुपये ले, मौज कर। अरे नहीं भैया, पैसे नहीं चाहिए। वो ना एक्चुअली मुझे सृष्टि में एडमिशन लेना है। मैंने आपकी वीडियोस में देखा है कि सृष्टि स्टूडेंट्स की लाइफ बहुत ही फन होती है, बहुत ही मज़ेदार होती है। तो ना मेरा ड्रीम बन गया कि बस मैं सृष्टि में ही आऊँ। तो आप प्लीज़ मुझे थोड़ा गाइड कर दो। सृष्टि का एंट्रेंस एग्ज़ाम होने वाला है ना। अबे तो ऐसा बोलना यार, वैसे ये तो उससे भी ज़्यादा डिफ़िकल्ट चीज़ है।
Oh no!
अच्छा एक काम कर, इस काम के लिए तू मुझे टिप दे, फिर मैं तुझे टिप देता हूँ कि कैसे सृष्टि एग्ज़ाम क्लियर करना है। लेकिन भैया मैं तो स्टूडेंट हूँ, आप फ्री में बता दो ना। यार फ्री में? अच्छा आपको भी जानना है फ्री में? फ्री की चीज़ों की ना लोग कदर नहीं करते हैं। चलो कर देता हूँ समाज सेवा। और चलो बताता हूँ आपको वाओ सृष्टि एग्जाम से रिलेटेड कुछ टिप्स। चलिए चलते हैं। One important thing to keep in mind is that whatever I am going to talk in this video is also going to be applicable for other design colleges like NIFT and UCEED, because all these colleges try to judge you on the basis of your imagination, your visualization and your presentation skills. Before making this video, I have already made a video where I have explained you all the courses that Srishti provides you and how you can apply in those courses, and the rules, regulations and guidelines of the Srishti entrance examination, and the result and registration process is also there. So if you haven't watched that video, do check it out first. I know that this video is very crucial for you, and that is why I have done a proper research and analysis to make this video. So what I have done is that I have talked to the students from different years in Srishti to know the pattern and the type of questions that are asked each and every year. After analyzing the answers that I got from the different students, and after analyzing the past year exams, I have come to a conclusion that there is some sort of structure that keeps on repeating every year. Definitely the pattern keeps on changing and the questions also change every year. But the structure of the questions is somewhat similar, And I have kind of divided this structure into 5 categories. First, I will talk about the assessment criteria, that on what basis you are assessed in this test. So for the first one is contextual understanding, कि आप context को समझ पा रहे हैं, whatever is given to you in the question. Are you able to understand it? The second one is your imagination. Are you able to imagine out of the box? The third one is visualization. Are you able to visualize? The fourth one is your presentation and the reflection. So presentation is very important. आपने imagine कर लिया, आपने visualize कर लिया, लेकिन अगर आप अपने ideas को present नहीं कर पा रहे हो, अच्छे से उसको articulate नहीं कर पा रहे हो, then आपके मार्क्स कट जाएंगे। सॉरी फॉर दैट, लेकिन यही ट्रुथ है। तो आपका इमेजिनेशन भी होना चाहिए, विजुअलाइजेशन पावर भी होना चाहिए, और साथ में प्रेजेंट करने का भी एक तरीका होना चाहिए। ठीक है। एंड देन द वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इज टू रिफ्लेक्ट दैट फॉर ईच ऑफ द आंसर्स दैट यू आर राइटिंग इन द एग्जाम, आर यू एबल टू रिफ्लेक्ट ऑन योर प्रोसेस, एंड आर यू एबल टू रिफ्लेक्ट on the outcome, that why you made it. Are you able to give the reason for it? Irrespective of the courses that you have applied for in Srishti, you will have to give 2 tests, Test-1 and Test-2. So both these tests will carry 50-50% of the marks. They will be of 90 minutes each, and both these tests will be held on the same day. But In this video, I will just talk about the test 1 of the entrance exam. So the test 1 is called GTA, that is General Test of Ability. This is the most important part of this entire video. So when you will give the test 1 of the Srishti entrance exam, you will get 3 different options. So you can consider these options as tasks. So out of these 3 tasks or options, you will have to choose just one, and you will have to complete all the steps or all the parts that are given in that one option or task. Here are a few examples of the options that you could get. I have made these examples myself after analyzing the different year question papers and talking to the students from different years. One type of question that you could get can be a task to visualize or imagine an object or a shape in different proportions or sizes, and the resulting practical changes of that particular object or image in the real world, in our daily life. If I had to give you an example of this kind of question, then let's consider they give you a pen and ask you to make something else out of it. Like आपको shape same रखनी है, लेकिन you can increase the size of the pen or decrease the size and make some other product that can be useful in real life. Let's say इस पेन से आप क्या बना सकते हो? Maybe you make traveling vehicle, some kind of a vehicle that travels. बस आपको इसको scale up करना है. वो आपको image के अंदर एक mouse दे सकते हैं और पूछ सकते हैं कि make some other product out of this same shape. So आप क्या बनाओगे इससे? वो आपकी इमेजिनेशन के ऊपर. आप इसको एक पहाड़ बनाओ, आप इसको कुछ ऐसा यूजफुल प्रोडक्ट बनाओ जो कि रियल लाइफ में यूजफुल हो. They might give you a chair or a table and ask you to scale that up or scale that down. या फिर आपको बोल सकते हैं कि इस सेम इमेज से कुछ और प्रोडक्ट बनाओ, लेकिन उसका रियल वर्ल्ड में कुछ यूज होना चाहिए. तो लेट्स से अगर एक टेबल है तो आप उसको 1000 टाइम्स बड़ा स्केल अप करके दिखाओ, एंड देन मे बी उसके नीचे एक शेल्टर टाइप कुछ बना सकते हो जहां पे लोग शेल्टर ले रहे हैं, कुछ ऐसा. सो इट्स कंप्लीटली ऑन आवर इमेजिनेशन. ये सब मैं अपनी इमेजिनेशन से बता रहा हूँ, लेकिन आप खुद की इमेजिनेशन लगाइए क्योंकि सब लोग सेम इमेजिन नहीं करते हैं. Another question can be a task to engage with a sector or group of people through a piece of work or storytelling. For example, doctor, engineer, police, or maybe physically disabled people. They might give you a question where they ask you to engage with a physically disabled person by making a piece of artwork or maybe a piece of a board game. For example, they might ask you to make a product for a physically disabled person through the help of some shapes like a rectangle or circle or square, and you have to make it in a way that it is useful for those kind of people. They may ask you to make some product for deaf people, जो लोग बहरे हैं, सुन नहीं सकते. तो आप कुछ ऐसा प्रोडक्ट बना सकते हो कि जिससे उनको सुनने में हेल्प हो. जरूरी नहीं कि आप जो बना रहे हो वर्क ही करे. That can be concept, उसका कुछ यूज होना चाहिए in real world. Another kind of task can be photography related task, where you are asked to photograph some of the elements or the objects that are present around you from a particular category like natural elements, architectural elements, in a way that you want to project them, the composition, the position and the lighting and different viewpoints that you know about in the photography. So you should consider all these points while doing such task. The next step of this same task can be to write a story using some of the elements that you captured in the first step. And then the very next step can be to make some illustration that adds meaning to your story. After that, they can ask you to sculpt something that adds meaning to your overall story. The next task can be about reimagining a space or an object from the perspective of a given persona. For example, they might ask you to reimagine and illustrate a dining table from the perspective of a cat, or maybe a spoon from the perspective of a scientist. And in the very next step of the same question, they can ask you to explain why you chose it to reimagine that particular way. इस चीज की प्रैक्टिस करने के लिए what you can do is pick up any object from your home, from your house, and then reimagine that with the perspective of different creatures like rat. अगर एक चूहे को एक बॉक्स दिया जाए, एक ज्योमेट्री बॉक्स दिया जाए, तो वो किस तरह से उसको देखेगा, वो किस तरह से उसको यूज करेगा. Another kind of task can be to engage with a sector or a group of people through articles or maybe news articles. In the very next step of the same question, they might ask you to make or illustrate something that adds meaning to your written article. And in the very next step, they might ask you to make a sculpture that complements to your article. Maybe they can ask कि आप एक ऐसा article या फिर news article लिखिए जो कि ब्लाइंड पीपल के लिए. सो ये सब ऐसे क्वेश्चंस हैं जो आपसे पूछे जा सकते हैं. सो प्रैक्टिस राइटिंग आर्टिकल्स. These are the 5 categories that I have divided and I have made so that you can understand what kind of questions are asked in such exams. अब इनके अलावा भी कुछ क्वेश्चन हो सकते हैं, जैसे कि they might ask you to draw a room view where there is a table lamp, there is a laptop, there is a chair and there is a bed. Or maybe they might ask you to draw the same view from the perspective of a spider that is on the room wall. You just have to practice on your imagination skills. एक और तरह से भी क्वेश्चन पूछा जा सकता है where they give you 2-3 different products and then ask you to combine them and make a completely different product, and that product must be useful in real life. So इस तरह से कुछ क्वेश्चंस आपसे पूछे जा सकते हैं. I have told you all the different possible questions that might be asked from you in this entrance exam test 1. If you work on your imagination, your visualization skills and your presentation skills, Srishti exam is not very tough to crack, because now you know the pattern, now you know the type of questions that might be asked from you. One very common question that many people ask me is that will there be any GK or maths related question in the test 1 of the Srishti examination? My answer is कि maths will not be there, but they might ask you maths in the questions that are design related. For example, they might ask you to give measurements of the product that you have made for some design related question. GK will be there. GK will be related to arts and design only. So like art history. Definitely art history आप पढ़िए. That will be helpful. Reasoning questions might also come, but they will also be not very, very hard. Basic reasoning. So वो आप कर सकते हो easily, right? और वो भी like design related questions में ही पूछी जाएगी mostly. Maybe 20-30% or maybe 40% will be the GK and reasoning questions, and the 60-70% will be your design related questions. So now you are all prepared. You all know the pattern. You all know the type of questions that might be asked from you. And अब बारी है फोड़ डालने की. Now 2 very important tips I am going to give you is during the exam, do not panic at all. क्या होता है ना, जब टाइम रन हो रहा होता है और you cannot stop the time and आपको दिख रहा है कि यार मेरा तो थोड़ा ही हुआ है, you start to panic, right? So do not panic at all. The second step is keep an eye on the time. क्या होता है कि आप क्वेश्चन करने में लग गए हो लेकिन आपका टाइम का ध्यान ही नहीं है. बहुत बार ऐसा होता है. क्वेश्चंस करना इतना हार्ड नहीं है, क्वेश्चंस को टाइम के अंदर करना वो हार्ड चीज़ है. तो वो चीज़ आप अगर माइंड में रखेंगे तो इट विल बी वेरी हेल्पफुल फॉर यू. सो दीज आर द 2 टिप्स. उसके अलावा ऑल द बेस्ट फॉर योर एग्जाम. इफ यू वांट द पार्ट 2 वेयर आई टॉक अबाउट द टेस्ट 2 ऑफ द Srishti examination, then comment down below and let me know. With this I end this video here. और अगर कोई भी आपको डाउट है तो आप कमेंट सेक्शन में पूछ सकते हो. I always reply to your comments. I'm not asking you to do anything else, but if you could just subscribe to my channel and share my videos to your friends who might find these videos helpful, then it will be a great motivation for me to keep making such videos for you in future also. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Shake it up with ShakeITaBhi.